So before I start today's video, I do want to tell you my merchandise line is in. It is here. And if you want to support the page, the IG page, it is right there on the screen. Come get your Bite Today, Bite of the Bag t-shirt. Got black and we got white. I just sold out of the medium white, so support me today. Just go to the IG page and find out more. Back picking this thing up. So I actually end up doing the motor mounts on it. So ooh, look at that Porsche on the competition series. I actually like those. I wanted to get some of those. So back picking it up. Suspension still needs work, but I went ahead and did the motor mounts. So let's see if it's leaking. Don't look like it's no leak, which is good. So right here picking it up, so I'm gonna talk about the mounts. What the price is, the cost and everything. Sometimes just with it being parked up that high, look at that gap. Look at that gap in there. That's just from how high it's sitting up. Unless on the high suspension with it raised. And ooh, shout out DT Auto Spy again. Look at the headlights. I mean, it was bad right in here. It was horrible. But look now. Don't even look that bad at all. Actually looks pretty good. All right, so let's talk about that Ceramic Pro. Just look how it looks. So let me find some dirt on it. So, well, it looks weird. Look how the clouds is like going through it. Okay, look at this. Look how nothing sticks to it. This is crazy on the Ceramic Pro. Like, it's all just on the top coat. Like, look at all this dust. It just all ends like right up in my hand, just as everything is just falling off the car. Even right here on the side, if you really take a look, it's like nothing's going into the body of the paint. Like nothing is actually bleeding through, and that's crazy. And that's what the ceramic coat do over the wrap. So that's the plus of it. Even just all right here. Just look how dusty it was. So I just fixed the motor mounts. Oh, this feels like a brand new car once again. I let my mounts go bad pretty long. He said that at Zentrum they was absolutely collapsed. Shout out Zentrum Motors, man, West Oakland, man. You get many shout outs just because these guys, they do amazing work. So you know, shout out Zentrum in Oakland. You know, another thing I want to talk, like the car, oh, just the way it going in bumps. Like I took it in there originally for the suspension, and I came out getting the mounts fixed. And the reason being, the suspension, it's sad to say, it's gonna be upward of 2K. It's gonna be around 2K to keep this thing running good, you know. So I did the mounts, which is still about half of that, and I'm gonna talk about all that. And like, I know I had videos in the past talking about, yeah, you can afford it, you can afford it. Just please get that extended warranty, get the regular warranty, or if you can't do any of those, then you may not want this car. It may not be for you, as my car is getting older and, you know, up there in age, you know, more repairs needed to be done. So about 2K here, 1K there, another 1K there, you know, that's a lot. That's spending a lot of money. That's a lot of money going down the drain, you know, for an older car. So make sure it's your passion, make sure you really like the car, make sure you really enjoy the car, because the prices can't add up. You know, this is a Mercedes Benz. Just look how big the engine is, especially for motor mounts, to really hold down this big engine and the motor. Just look at this. Just look at this thing. So far on mine, this is already, it's not clamped off, but it's not actually on good. So with the motor mounts, what are you getting? You're getting vibration. You're getting the engine feel like it's shaking. Upon when the car is not moving, it's a lot of vibration. And that's bad. And my engine mounts were collapsed. And the average price of this thing is costly unless you do it yourself. That's why a lot of DIYers say you need to do it yourself. And reason being, because that's just the best option when you're doing it yourself. Because why? Because you save. Only thing you're paying for is the parts. You're just paying for those parts, and then the rest is just falling into place. So now it's vibration free. You don't hear all that. It's not and then another thing about the motor mounts, when you shift it into gear, it makes a weird noise also. It's like a jerking thing, and your mounts, your motor can actually like fall onto the rack. It can cause a lot of bad things to happen to your car. So it's a good thing to get these motor mounts fixed and replaced. And I did a bad thing by not fixing them right away. I left it going on over maybe a year, and mines were collapsed, but it didn't visually mess the car up. But then again, who knows if it messed the car up, because other stuff started to happen. My suspension was leaking. I had oil leaks. My cam seals was leaking. And that can all do being to your engine mounts can just mess up and wear out a lot of things on the car. And now to the inside of the car. So upon getting in, so how do you know if the engine mounts are good? So foot on the brake. Let's go and start it up. See how there's no vibration whatsoever, even on the camera. Before, the camera could pick it up, or you will hear noise inside the car going like this. And I noticed it in the video. I don't know if any of my subs did, but it'll be rattling, like something to be like it will have some noise, it'll have some vibration, and now it's like vibration free. You feel nothing, even turning the wheel. It even have that like smooth feel on the wheels. But the price is, as I stated, is upward of $1,000 just for the mount. Well, it's really up on like, $980, $970, USD dollars, depending on where you go. But that's the typical price. If you take it to the dealership, it's even higher. If you go to their service department, it's going to run you even more than that, which is crazy, just to put some things in that's going to hold your engine down in place. Now let's get to something more serious. Is it dangerous to drive with your engine mounts vibrating? Yes, it is, because anything could happen. Luckily for me, nothing really happened. The car was fairly still running fine, but I think some of my other problems were due to the motor mounts being collapsed. Like oil leaks, because without your motor mounts, your engine can sit on the rack or be right close to it. So if you was to rev it up and give it some gas, you can actually see my engine, lifting up off the car every time I would give it some gas. Okay, so now what would happen if you wasn't to prepare and if you wasn't to fix the mounts? Everything could happen. You can have an engine leak. You can have an oil leak. Your engine can fall out of place of being in the car. Like, a lot can happen while your mounts are bad. Just those little mounts that hold your car in place could be all bad for your whole car. And the main symptoms, as I stated earlier, are that vibration. You get vibration is the worst one, and putting it into gear, it jerks. So that's how you could tell. So get it fixed as soon as you see it. Don't be like me. I waited, I want to say roughly over a year before I fixed my mounts. And that was crazy. But I end up doing it, and I love it now. It runs like a new car. And also, once your mount starts shaking and vibrating, sometimes you don't even want to drive it, because upon being parked, you feel that vibration. So mine was, and it had a couple leaks, but as you look now, woo, it looks like I'm leak free for the moment. You know how these Benzes are. And so just be aware of that, because the mounts wear down each car differently. Like, this is a heavy car, so you may feel it more on this car than say a C-Class, but you will still feel that. It will still have that vibration. So that's what I want to tell you guys to keep in mind, just to go over to recap this video. So we got the price is upward, or could be exactly $1,000. You got vibration coming from the inside. You got jerking, putting it into gears. Sometimes you get randomly clunkiness, like feels like the transmission is slipping, but not really, but just a little bit. So keep all those things in mind when looking out for the mounts And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna have another video coming up of me taking this bad boy to the hills and driving it like a racetrack. Well, not really, I mean like as if I'm around a racetrack, but not really a racetrack, but just driving it fast and doing some corners. Because look at this car is real heavy. And look at those windows and the profile. It's not a race car. It's not meant to be in the hills taking corners, but we did it anyway. So stay tuned. Signing off, Benz man.